age-old debate of nature versus nurture has fascinated scientists, educators, and psychologists for centuries. Are intelligence, creativity, and talent hardwired into our genes, or are they shaped by the environment we grow up in? Modern research suggests that both play crucial roles, intertwining in complex ways to shape brain potential and human abilities. How exactly do genetics and environment interact, and can one outweigh the other? Genetics provide the foundation for brain development. DNA carries the instructions for building the brain's structure, influencing everything from the number of neurons to the efficiency of neurotransmitter systems. Some individuals inherit traits that make learning easier, process information faster, or have a heightened capacity for memory. Twin studies reveal that traits like IQ have a heritability factor of around 50 to 80%, meaning a significant portion is influenced by genetic factors. However, genes are not destiny, they merely set the stage for potential. If genetics provide the blueprint, the environment shapes how that blueprint is expressed. A child with a genetic predisposition for high intelligence may never reach their full potential if raised in a neglectful environment with limited intellectual stimulation. Conversely, someone with average genetic potential can excel in the right environment. Early childhood nutrition, access to education, social interactions, and even stress levels influence brain development in ways that genes alone cannot determine. Can environment override genetics? Studies on brain plasticity suggest that experience can shape and rewire the brain far beyond genetic limitations. For example, children raised in enriched environments with exposure to books, music, and problem-solving activities show greater cognitive gains than those who lack these opportunities. Bilingual individuals and musicians often have enhanced neural connectivity, showing how training and experience can physically alter the brain. What about extreme cases? Consider savants, individuals with extraordinary talents despite developmental disorders. Some, like Daniel Tammet, who can perform complex calculations in seconds, attribute their abilities to both innate neurological differences and extensive mental training. On the other end, children deprived of early social interaction, such as in cases of severe neglect, often struggle with cognitive deficits, demonstrating how critical the early environment is for brain development. Is talent inborn or can it be created? Research on deliberate practice challenges the idea that talent is purely genetic. Psychologist Anders Ericsson's studies suggest that 10,000 hours of focused practice can lead to mastery in fields like music, sports, and science. This implies that while genetic predispositions may offer an advantage, hard work and practice can make up for natural limitations. Do genes determine personality and creativity? While certain personality traits, like openness to experience, have a genetic component, the environment plays a significant role in shaping creative abilities. Some individuals may inherit a dopamine system that makes them more exploratory or curious, but without the right experiences, this creative potential may never manifest. Many groundbreaking thinkers, from Einstein to Tesla, were shaped as much by their environments as by their natural abilities. How does modern science measure this balance? Epigenetics has revolutionized our understanding of how genes and environment interact. Research shows that life experiences can switch genes on or off, meaning that environmental factors like stress, education, and even diet can influence which genetic traits are expressed. For example, children exposed to chronic stress may develop heightened anxiety responses due to epigenetic changes, while those nurtured in supportive environments may develop greater resilience. Can technology enhance brain potential beyond genetic limitations? Advances in neuroplasticity research, brain stimulation, and AI-assisted learning suggest that the future may offer ways to boost cognitive function beyond what our genes dictate. Brain training programs, nootropics, and neurofeedback techniques already show promise in improving memory and learning abilities. If both nature and nurture play crucial roles, what does this mean for education and talent development? Should schools focus more on tailored learning environments to maximize individual potential? Should society invest more in early childhood education to level the playing field for those without strong genetic advantages? The debate between genes and environment is no longer about choosing one over the other. It is about understanding their interplay. Science shows that while genetics lay the foundation, experience builds upon it, shaping the vast potential of the human mind. But the big question remains, if environment can influence genetic expression, how much of our potential is truly under our control? Genetics play a fundamental role in determining baseline intelligence, memory capacity, and cognitive speed. Studies on twins suggest that heritability accounts for 40 and 80% of intelligence variability, depending on environmental factors. Specific genes, such as those involved in neurotransmitter function, brain plasticity, and synaptic efficiency, influence cognitive potential. However, genetics alone does not dictate intelligence. Gene expression is heavily influenced by environmental conditions. A child from a family with high intellectual ability may inherit fast-processing brain structures, but without proper stimulation, their potential might not be fully realized. This is like inheriting a high-performance sports car but never learning how to drive it efficiently. Environmental exposure during critical developmental periods shapes brain architecture through learning, nutrition, and social interactions. Early childhood education, enriched environments, and cognitive challenges significantly enhance neural connections and long-term cognitive function. Socioeconomic status, SES, can affect access to learning materials, parental involvement, and nutrition, all of which contribute to intelligence development. Even in genetically gifted individuals, a deprived environment can limit cognitive growth and intellectual achievements. Studies show that children raised in literacy-rich environments develop better language and reasoning skills than those with limited educational resources. This is like planting a seed. No matter how genetically superior, it will not thrive in poor soil without sunlight and water. The brain is highly plastic, meaning it can rewire itself based on experience and learning. Neuroplasticity allows new connections to form, strengthening abilities that are frequently used. Training in specific skills such as music, mathematics, or spatial reasoning increases gray matter density in relevant brain areas. Lifelong learning and exposure to novel experiences help mitigate cognitive decline, proving that environment continues to shape intelligence beyond childhood. London taxi drivers who must memorize thousands of routes show increased hippocampus volume, demonstrating how experience physically changes brain structure. This is like upgrading a computer's hardware by continuously feeding it new software and optimizing its system. Epigenetics refers to chemical modifications of DNA that influence gene expression without changing genetic sequences. Environmental factors such as diet, stress, education, and toxins can activate or suppress genes affecting cognitive abilities. Studies show that early childhood stress can alter brain function, influencing attention, memory, and emotional regulation. Positive environments, such as nurturing homes and stimulating education, activate genes associated with intelligence and resilience. Malnourished children often exhibit delayed cognitive development, despite having no genetic impairments. This is like a dimmable light. Genes provide the bulb, but environment controls the brightness. Education directly enhances critical thinking, problem solving, and abstract reasoning, key components of intelligence. Exposure to diverse learning materials, challenging academic environments, and structured training fosters long-term brain efficiency. Even in adults, learning new skills, such as a second language or musical instrument, improves cognitive flexibility. The Flynn effect, which shows a rise in average IQ scores over generations, suggests that better education and enriched environments continuously push intelligence higher. Children in Montessori-style schools, which emphasize problem-solving and independent learning, often develop stronger executive function skills. This is like sharpening a knife. The more it is used and maintained, the better it performs over time. Socioeconomic status affects intelligence by influencing nutrition, stress levels, access to education, and parental engagement. Higher input families often provide cognitively enriching experiences, while lower input households may struggle with chronic stress and limited educational opportunities. Cultural factors such as language exposure and value placed on education also shape cognitive abilities. Studies suggest that early interventions in disadvantaged communities can significantly improve long-term intellectual outcomes. Bilingual children exposed to multiple languages early on show greater cognitive flexibility and problem-solving skills. This is like training a muscle. The more diverse the exercise, the stronger it becomes. Certain cognitive and motor schools have genetic components, making some individuals naturally predisposed to specific talents. For example, musical ability, athletic performance, and memory retention are influenced by inherited traits. However, research shows that deliberate practice and structured training contribute more to mastery than genetic predisposition alone. Genetic potential provides an advantage, but only if combined with effort and environmental reinforcement. A person with natural mathematical aptitude may struggle in school without proper guidance, while a less gifted student with strong work ethic can surpass their peers. This is like owning a high-performance engine. Without fuel and maintenance, it will not reach top speeds. Creativity and intelligence are shaped by both genetic predisposition and environmental stimulation. Highly creative individuals often display divergent thinking, the ability to generate novel solutions, which has both a heritable component and a learned aspect. Environments that encourage curiosity, risk-taking, and cross-disciplinary learning enhance creative problem-solving abilities. The interplay between genes and experiences determines whether latent creative potential is realized or remains dormant. Many historical geniuses, like Einstein, were raised in environments that encouraged questioning, experimentation, and self-directed learning. This is like a spark needing the right conditions to ignite into a flame. While genetics set a baseline, intelligence can be optimized through cognitive training, brain stimulation, and technology. Techniques such as memory exercises, strategic thinking games, and brainwave stimulation have shown promising results in enhancing cognitive function. Emerging fields like neuroplasticity-based therapies, biofeedback, and AI-enhanced learning may offer future methods to surpass natural intellectual limits. The ability to continuously learn, adapt, and innovate plays a greater role in intelligence than fixed genetic potential. Researchers have demonstrated that chess players, musicians, and mathematicians develop denser neural networks due to prolonged cognitive engagement. This is like upgrading a software system. While the hardware remains fixed, improvements in the software, learning, and adaptation enhance performance.